Hi, welcome to the Espresso Specialist. Today we're just going to give you a run through of setting up a Everpure MR225 RO system. All our systems ship with a 10-inch pre-filter included, which gets mounted before mounting the RO system on the wall with the included bolts. All the RO systems are shipped with a thermostatic mixing valve. This is the box it comes in, and these are the components. RO systems run best on warmer water, kind of room temperature water, so anywhere between 70 and 80 degrees is optimal. If the water is colder, the RO will still produce water, but at a much slower rate. The mixing valve should be installed by the plumber. Has a cold water feed and a hot water feed, and the mix gets run to the RO system. The valve is preset from the factory, so there's no need to adjust it. Provided with the system is a red 1/4-inch flex exhaust tube, this fitting, and it also comes with 2 flow restrictors. For our purposes, we're going to use the red flow restrictor. The red flow restrictor gets inserted in the 1/4-inch tube and then into the fitting, and this goes onto the exhaust of the RO cartridge. Without those components, the RO tank will not function properly at all. The other end of the red exhaust tube gets routed to a drain. Now you're ready to plumb in the RO system. First connection is the water feed, which is coming from the mix valve. Goes into the pre-filter. There's also fittings and a short piece of flex line that is provided with the system that gets connected to the output of the pre-filter and the input of the system. Next, plumb in the output from the RO system. And we like to put a T. One will be a sampling valve, the other will feed the RO tank. Next, you want to install the pre-filter included. So here's the case for the 10-inch pre-filter. Comes with an O-ring and a 10-inch filter. We recommend the pleated pre-filter down to 1 micron. The O-ring gets inserted inside, not around, goes in the groove in the bottom. Install the filter, and this just gets screwed on hand tight. Next filter to install after the pre-filter is in place is the taste and odor carbon block filter, either a 6TO BW or a 7TO BW. This gets installed in the first slot on the system. After the carbon block filter is installed, you need to flush it. This needs to be done without the other 2 filters in place. So you insert the bypasses, which are provided, into those 2 slots. And then we'll flush at least 2 gallons of water through this filter. To flush the filter, we can turn on the incoming water. And you don't need to worry about water coming out down here, because the water will only go into the pre-filter and it stops here at the inlet valve. That will only turn on once we apply power to the system. All right, to flush the filter, we need to apply power to the system. Once we do that, it will turn on and start running water through this filter. We have it bypassed, and then you also want to make sure that both valves from the output are in the off position. Plug in the system and it will start up. The inlet valve opens, the motor turns on, pressure starts rising, and now you can flush that filter into a bucket. We run about 2 gallons through. Once you flush the filter, you can install the second two filters. So you unplug the system, turn off the valves again. First filter that goes in is the RO cartridge. This goes in the center spot. And the third filter is the calcite feeder. This goes in the third slot. This is the fitting system that is supplied, that gets attached to your RO tank from here out. This side is the incoming water from the RO system feeding the tank. This is an overpressure valve. Should get routed to a drain. That protects the tank in case something happens and the tank gets overpressurized. You don't crack the tank. This releases pressure to the drain. The other outlet, or the other side, is an outlet which has a valve, a check valve, and then this feeds your equipment. So now that all the filters are installed, you can plug the system back in. We'll start up, and we're going to flush another gallon of water through to make sure that the system is working properly and there are no leaks. Once you're good there, you're sure there's no leaks, and you've flushed all the filters, now you're ready to open the valve and start feeding water into the tank. The main reason the RO system has an accumulator tank is because RO filtration takes time and it filters water at a slow pace. As you can see, that's the rate that water gets produced. As we mentioned, the RO system produces water at a slow rate. So on the first installation into the tank, it will take hours to fill up the RO tank. There are two pressure gauges on the RO system. First pressure gauge is the incoming water pressure. Second pressure gauge is the outgoing tank pressure. You can see this system is off right now because the incoming water pressure is 0. So there's no water being pulled from this unit and the tank is full. Once we draw water, the system will start up. Just to walk through the components for the system, after the pre-filter, we have incoming water, goes through the inlet solenoid valve into your pump, and that goes down into your first filters and through there. There's a T here for a bypass, a blending valve, and for our purposes, we turn this all the way clockwise off. We don't want any blended water back into the final product water. After the calcite feeder, there's a check valve, your pressure gauge. This is a pressure switch, which determines the pressure when the system turns off and filling the tank. Again, this is set at the factory, so there's no need to adjust this. And then you come up to T and plumbed to your tank. Here's the transformer that's running the pump and the solenoid, and it comes with an extra fuse in case you pop it. The RO tank has a Schrader valve on top, and you need to pressurize this to 20 to 30 psi before filling it with water.